Well, here we are, 1200 metres up, and we reached the Santuario de Europa. Splendid old building there, mist covering the mountains in the background. This is at 1200 metres, which is almost the height of Ben Nevis. You've got to remember that this is still the foothills, and beyond this area goes up onto the Monte Massif, which has got 21 summits over 4,000 metres on it. One of the biggest massifs in the Alps, so this is just small fry really. Over to the right here is one of the old telegraphy cable cars that used to make the journey up here from Biella. There's a documented record made by two brothers, Jobsons, Frank and Ian, also known as Tim, and they were both Australian soldiers that had got away from Biella, the work camps down in the valleys beyond Biella. Managed to make their way up here, and their record states that there were 126 escapees actually up at this up at the monastery here, trying to find their way over to Switzerland. So much so that the Germans actually cut off the power supply and stopped the use of the telegraphy, because they suspected that people were being ferried up here by the partisans. So once they got up here, they had to make their way north and west to get to the Swiss border. Now, I haven't managed to find a record so far of anybody using the escape maps that I've mentioned, but in the spirit of trying to follow these great inventions that were made by MI9, who were responsible for escape and evasion, and hidden in people's clothing and in board games and things that were sent out to prisoner war camps, in conjunction with splash maps. We're jointly developing a special escape route map, which I've got here with me. So it's my Tough Mountain Escape and Evaders map. Now, the scale of the other maps, as I mentioned before, was so tiny that they couldn't really be used to navigate by in the way that people do nowadays. But this is a 1 to 40,000 map, and in the bottom right corner here we've got Biella. Further up we've now got the Santuario de Europa, which is where we're at the moment, and the main direction that people were then heading for was pretty much this direction to get over to this valley here. Looks like the cows are about to attack me. So what they were heading for is the sort of top corner of the map here, and I'll talk to you about this over the next couple of days, because I'm following this actual journey myself. So stand by for more updates. But this is the sanctuary where people did spend nights, sometimes a week or so, before heading off up over the mountains. Or in the case of one other chap, George Evans, who stayed on here and helped to fight with the partisans, but that's another story altogether. So I'm going to go now and leave the cows to it. Stand by for an update soon.